Very good morning, my dear friends. Welcome back to Chandan Logic's English class. My name is Shyam. So this is a very interesting session, especially for banking aspirants, because in this session we are going to spend some time on fillers, filling the blanks. Even very recently, somebody was asking me, so what's the difference between fillers and filling the blanks? Actually, fillers and filling the blanks both exactly need the same process. A sentence with a blank will be provided and 4 options. We need to find the suitable option. But there is a very subtle difference between fillers and filling the blanks. Fillers mostly based on vocabulary, whereas filling the blanks can be based on vocabulary and also grammar. In this session, despite the fact that you see the title fillers, we are also going to do some filling the blanks, which means some of the questions are based on vocabulary, some of the questions are also based on grammar. So that in one shot, in one session, you will be able to experience fillers and also some filling the blanks. That gives you some proper confidence, okay? So that in the future, you don't have to worry about filling the blanks. Okay, right. So I once again welcome you all to English class, and let's get started, my dear friends. You're watching Chandan Logic's English YouTube channel. Every morning I come on live, and every evening I come on live on Chandan Logic's Telugu YouTube channel. So Chandan Logics has offered you a free course. In this free course, there are many practice questions, 7,000 plus practice questions. You can take this free course and start your practice various topics of grammar and vocabulary. Police job aspirants, if you want English classes at a very reasonable price, you can contact the given contact number and take the English classes completely at a very reasonable price. Okay, fine. So now we have a very simple exercise on filling the blanks or fillers. Can I have your right answer? This question seems to be a question based on vocabulary, correct? Okay. Can you give me the right answer? Can you give me the right answer? The committee's decision was so dash that even the strongest critics found it difficult to challenge. The committee's decision was so dash that even the strongest critics found it difficult to challenge. So when you say the strongest critics found it difficult to challenge, so nobody could challenge their decision, okay? Nobody could challenge their decision, which means what? Nobody could debate on it, which means this should be very strong. This should be very, positive. Whatever answer is, what I am saying, this could be only a positive vocabulary, not a negative vocabulary. Because when you say nobody was able to challenge that decision, naturally that should be only positive, not negative. When nobody was able to give a challenge, when nobody was able to throw a challenge on it, then naturally it could be positive, not negative, my dear friends. Okay. So if you look at the 4 given options there, untenable, cogent, capricious, perfunctory. If you look at these 4 options, you should know the meaning of the words. Cogent. So my dear friends, what is the meaning of the word cogent? Cogent means something which is very convincing. Something which is very logical and very convincing. Cogent means something very logical and very convincing. Very logical and very convincing. Okay. Now you look at the other options. Perfunctory. The meaning of the word perfunctory means something which is done without a proper care. Something which is done very randomly, without proper care, maybe kind of careless. And I think most of you know the word capricious. Capricious means something which is very, very unstable, something which is very, very weak. We say capricious, which is very volatile. And you say untenable. What is the meaning of the word untenable? Untenable means very, very weak. When we say untenable, very, very weak. Okay, untenable, very, very weak. Okay, untenable means very, very weak. Very, very weak. Not very strong. Now, my dear friends, it's easy to guess the answer cogent. It's easy to guess the answer cogent because as per the meaning, nobody was able to challenge. Nobody was able to challenge the committee's decision because the committee's decision was, nobody was able to challenge the committee's decision, which means the committee's decision was naturally very, very logical, very, very convincing. So option B should be the right answer. At least if you don't know the meaning of the words, no problem. But at least if you can guess, if you can guess the positive negative factor of the vocabulary. Like untenable is minus, cogent is plus, capricious is minus, perfunctory is minus. Untenable is minus, cogent is plus, capricious is minus, perfunctory is minus. Even then you can guess. The committee's decision was so logical that, so convincing that nobody could challenge. Untenable is very weak and capricious is very weak, very unstable. Perfunctory is something done carelessly. So this is a question directly testing your vocab knowledge, correct? Okay. Again, now if you look at the second question, this is not vocabulary based, this is grammar based. That is why today's session is going to be interesting. It's not just going to be on vocab, also grammar as well. Okay. Can you try the second one? Easy question. Guys, very easy question. Guys, very easy question. Guys, waiting for your answer. Already we have discussed a concept called subject verb agreement, my dear friends, which was a very which is a very important part of syllabus in our English language. Okay. Yes. So this is a direct question from the topic, my dear friends, subject verb agreement. So whenever there is a rule like neither A nor B, whenever you have something like this, neither A nor B. So neither A nor B, which means when neither comes, after that one subject A, one subject B comes, this second subject B should be the main subject. If B is singular, everything is singular. If B is plural, everything is plural. Here you consider manager to be A and assistants to be B. That as per the rule, B is the subject, assistants is the subject, so assistant should be here. And yes, var. This is the only plural option. Rest of the options are singular. This is the only plural option. Rest of the options are singular. What do you think, guys? Correct? Okay, right. Okay, let's go to the next question. Question number 3. Question number 3. Yes, again now if you see the third question seems to be vocabulary based question, correct? Third question seems to be vocabulary based question, correct? The witness gave such a dash account of the incident that the investigators immediately suspected that he was concealing something. Yes, nice question. Again, this question based on vocabulary based. The witness gave such a dash account of incident. See guys, there are two ways to handle a question like this. One, if you know the vocabulary, directly you can get to the options. You do not even have to see the sentence. You don't even have to read the question. See, that's the reason I always say I always talk about vocabulary, okay? So listen to the meanings, guys. Lucid. So guys, what is the meaning of the word lucid? Lucid means very clear. Very clear. Okay. Now we have evasive. What is the meaning of the word evasive? Evasive means avoiding the main point. Evasive means avoiding the main point. Avoiding the main point. Now we have candid. Candid means very frank, very straightforward, very open. We say very clear. Now we have coherent. So my dear friends, coherent is also very clear. If you look at the four options now, it's easy to guess. It's very easy to guess. Yes or no? Yes, very clear, very logical. So there is only one option which looks like the odd man option. Evasive is the right answer. So direct question, testing your vocabulary proficiency. Testing your vocabulary proficiency. Coherent is very logical, very clear. Evasive is avoiding the main point. Lucid is very clear. Candid is very frank, very open. See, if you look at this, the witness gave dash kind of account of the incident. Investigators immediately suspected that he was concealing something. So concealing, an investigator suspected. So there should be some minus word here. It is not a positive word. The witness gave what kind of report? Minus. And this is the only minus option here. Lucid is a positive option. Candid is a positive option. Coherent is a positive vocabulary. See, if you do not focus on your vocabulary proficiency, at least now, things will get tougher. As banking job aspirants, prelims is fine. Prelims is not a real problem. But what about mains? If you really look forward for good score in mains as well, the vocabulary has to really be good. No compromise. Okay. Now again, the fourth question is not on vocabulary. It tests your grammar knowledge. So today's session is like one question vocab, one question grammar, so that you can cover everything. What do you think, guys? Make it fast, guys. This is a question directly testing your tenses knowledge. So by the time the police arrived, the protesters dash. So the meaning of the sentence is police came, and by the time already the protesters dash. So first action is this. So before the police came, the protesters completed some action. So the first completed action should be past perfect. 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 Okay. So past perfect means C option is the right answer. So this is a question directly testing your tenses knowledge. If you're not good at tenses, please do learn tenses immediately. By the time the police came there, the protesters had already left. So protesters going away should be the first completed action. So that should be in the past perfect. Okay, right. Try the question number 5. Try the question number 5. Try the question number 5. Again, this is a nice question based on your vocabulary proficiency. Yes or no? Yes, my dear friends, it's a direct vocabulary based question. So what is the vocabulary here? Let us see. What is the meaning of ruse? Ruse means a trick to cheat somebody, a trick to cheat somebody. It's like a bait, a trick to cheat somebody. Don't believe. That's a ruse, that's a trick. I think everybody knows the meaning of the word boon. Boon means plus, some kind of advantage. Boon is some kind of advantage. Boon is some kind of advantage. Okay, boon is some kind of advantage. And what is the meaning of respite? Respite means relief. Respite means relief. Relief. Okay, we say kind of freedom. After 4 years of hard work, after 4 years of struggle, I got respite from my problems. I got respite from my problems. Okay. Now what is panacea? Panacea means solution to all the problems. Common solution. Solution to all the problems. Guys, now I have explained the meaning, no? Can you tell me which option could be the answer? Which option could be the answer? Which option could be the answer? His apparent generosity was merely a dash designed to conceal his ulterior motive. See, there was a man who was actually very kind, but everybody understood that he was concealing his dash nature. So he's hiding. His hiding means it's a negative word, negative word, negative word. He's hiding his bad nature, So ruse, ruse. He's playing a trick. He's playing a trick. He's playing a trick. He's playing a trick. He is playing a trick. See, without knowing vocabulary, please don't answer. Leave the question. Now it's fine because it's an online session, YouTube session. But in general, if you are writing the original exam, specifically original exam, if you don't know the answer and you don't know the vocabulary, leave the question. Don't attempt because you can't take a risk. Only if you know the vocabulary, you can handle it. Okay? Or else you will get unnecessarily negative mark. Okay. See, nice exercise today because one question based on grammar, one question based on vocabulary, so that you will enjoy it. You will have some good learning experience. Try this question which is based on tenses. Again, tenses. Tenses, again, tenses. Tenses. Yes, my dear friends. Yes, my dear friends. Yes. The principal insisted that every student dash the form before leaving the class. This is a question based on tenses and also verbs. There is a topic in our English syllabus called verbs. So this is a question based on the topic verbs. This is a question based on the topic verbs. This is a question based on the topic verbs. The principal insisted that every student dash the form before leaving the classroom. Means the principal insisted. Insisted means that's the principal's order. That's the principal's decision. Instruction. That's the rule principal laid down. That before the student leaves the room, he has to submit it. He has to submit the project. He has to submit the project. Yes, my dear friends. Can you answer? Anyone? Can you answer? My dear friends, can you answer this question? See, hundreds of times earlier in my grammar classes, we got to discuss a very important rule. Insist. What is the meaning of insist? What is the meaning of insist? Insist means, like we say, force, order. Okay. So there is a model called imperative model. Imperative model means insist, order, like wish, request, maybe we say suggest or advise. Suggest or advise. We say, pray, hope, recommend, recommend, etc. When you have such expressions, when you have such expressions, we should take the verb which is plural. 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 And where is the plural verb here? Option C is the plural verb. And surprisingly, nobody gave me the right answer. Easy question actually. In our English syllabus, there is a topic called verb. And as a student, you must be thorough with the topic verb. No compromise. As a student, you must be thorough with the topic verb. No compromise. The principal insisted that every student submit. Every student submit. Verb, the plural verb. When you have the expressions like insist, suggest, order, advise, wish, pray, request, we must use the verb which is going to be in the plural form. Plural verb. I think I am clear. Question number 7, again interesting because based on vocabulary knowledge. So today's paper I have designed in such a way that you don't find only the burden of, you don't find the complete class burdening you with vocabulary. You also have some interesting grammar part as well. Yes. Yes, my dear friends. If you know the vocabulary honestly, you don't even have to read the question. Maximum. You can go by the meanings. Can you answer this? Tepid, vehement, sporadic, placid. Tepid, vehement, sporadic, placid. Can you answer this? Can you try this? Guys, what is the meaning of tepid, do you know? So tepid means kind of very lazy, very dull. Tepid means very dull, very lazy, kind of, very silent. Okay. Vehement means, you also can say weak. Tepid means very weak, very dull and all that. So vehement is very strong, very loud. Vehement is very strong, very loud, very intense. The farmers are protesting vehemently for the justice. And what is sporadic, my dear friends? So sporadic is something that happens very rarely. Something that happens very rare, not regularly. You also can say they are weak, naturally. Everybody knows placid, very calm, very silent. Can you try now? I have given you the meanings of the 4 options. Now can you tell me what is the right answer? Now can you tell me what the right answer is? Anybody? Can you tell me now what the right answer could be? Yes, guys. Yes, guys. Naturally, the right answer should be the second option, vehemently, okay? It is the only option with a different level of meaning, okay? It's an odd man out. Only vehement is the reverse word, antonym kind of thing. So the government decision, see, even if you don't know the exact meaning of these words, but at least if you can guess this is positive word, this is negative word, that's also fine. If you see government's decision to impose the tax met with opposition from the traders, opposition from the traders. So traders opposed it, so it should be some negative word. Vehemently opposed. Vehement opposition, strong opposition, serious opposition from somebody. Government took some decision, but there is a strict denial from some people like traders. Opposition came. Strong opposition, vehement opposition. Okay. Next question, guys. Grammar based question now. Now we have a question based on grammar. Hardly dash the meeting began when the chairman announced his resignation? Yes. First of all, point number one to be noted is there is a grammar rule that says when hardly comes in that sentence, when should come. See, hardly came, when should came. So this part is fine, but there is something more important than this. There is something more important than this. First of all, here the verb is V3, begun. The verb is V3 here. So naturally you can't use was, because was does not get V3 in active voice. It happens in passive voice only. Generally did plus V1. Generally did plus V1. Generally was plus ing, did plus V1. Now had plus V3 is okay. Has plus V3 is also okay. There is no problem here. But the only question here is, which is the first action? Chairman made some announcement. Chairman made some announcement. Okay. Sorry, meeting started first. First meeting started. Then chairman said, I quit. I resign. Okay. So there are two actions here. First of all, the meeting started. The moment meeting started, immediately what happened? Chairman announced his resignation. Okay. Right. So whichever action that happens first should be in past perfect. So meeting started is the first action, that should be in past perfect. So when we say past perfect, it should be the first option. It should be the first option. It should be the first option. So what happens is, hardly had the meeting begun when the chairman announced his resignation. I think I'm clear. You're right. Now we have the next question again based on vocabulary. And these words we discussed many times. I remember most of these words, all of these words. I have discussed hundreds of times to you before. Yes. Yes, my dear friends. Yes, my dear friends. Yes, my dear friends. Make it fast. Last 10 seconds. Yes, my dear friends. What is the meaning of the word plausible? So plausible means something which is possible. Plausible means something which is possible. Something which is practical. Okay. Something which is feasible. Okay. So pragmatic is also very close. Pragmatic is also very close. So pragmatic is also something which is very practical. Okay. Now what is the meaning of judicious? Judicious is very wise. Very shrewd. Judicious is very wise. Very shrewd. So there is only one option called preposterous. What is the meaning of the word preposterous? Preposterous is a negative word. Illogical. When we say preposterous, it is illogical, unreasonable. When we say preposterous decision, unreasonable decision. I was surprised to see the preposterous minds. I was surprised to see the preposterous minds of the people who take decisions like unreasonable decisions. You know, unreasonable means very, very illogical. Preposterous means unreasonable, illogical. Preposterous means unreasonable, illogical. Unreasonable, illogical. That's called preposterous, illogical, unreasonable. Okay. So this is the only odd man out. So this could be the only right answer. The scientist theory was initially dismissed as preposterous, but subsequent evidence proved it remarkably accurate. So here, accurate is a plus word. Here, it should be minus word. Okay. Here it is plus word, that could be minus word. So preposterous is a minus word. Preposterous is a minus word. Okay. Question number 10. Try the question number 10. Guys, it's a direct question now based on grammar again. Easy level grammar question. Easy level grammar question. Easy level grammar question. If he dashed the instructions, he would not have made such a serious mistake. Easy level grammar question. Yes, my dear friends. So this is a direct question based on the topic conditionals. This is a direct question testing your knowledge in the topic called conditionals, my dear friends. So how many of you know the topic called conditionals? Conditionals is called if conditionals or if clause. Conditionals is called if conditionals or if clause. In the topic conditionals, there is a rule. If the conditional clause is had plus V3, then the main clauses would have plus V3. Conditional clause is had plus V3. Main clauses would have plus V3. That's the topic. Conditional clauses had plus V3. Main clauses would have plus V3. So here if you see, would have plus V3. And here had plus V3 should come. Had plus V3 should come. Okay. Am I clear? Okay. But to answer this question, you should know the rules of conditionals. If you don't know the rules of conditionals, please learn it. Today the problem with many students is they want score in English. They want good score in English. But they don't have patience to learn the rules of grammar. First of all, you take a piece of paper. You write the topics of grammar. Tenses, prepositions, articles, parallelism, question tags, parts of speech, degrees, adjective, conditionals, concord, conjunctions, like that. You write the topics of grammar first. Now each topic in grammar, start working on it with passion. That's how you learn the rules. You can't get good score in English with broken grammar. You know, most of us when we talk in English, we speak in broken English. We speak whatever we want to speak, full of grammatical errors. But that should not be the criterion in competitive exams. Your broken English cannot get you score in English. So please learn the rules of the grammar properly. It is hardly a matter of 1 month. If you focus on grammar 1 month, yes, you will be experts in grammar. Unlike vocabulary, grammar is limited. See, vocabulary is unlimited, but grammar is limited. Can you try the 9th answer, guys? Guys, can you try the 9th answer? Can you try the 9th answer? I think this is a question where you find the options repeated and also the question very close. Yes. Yes, question number 11, sorry. Question number 11. Not 9. Guys, waiting for your answer. Guys, waiting for your answer. Here, first and fourth options are repeated, right? Okay, no problem. I'll give you one word in the place of the fourth option. I will give you one word in the place of the fourth option. Okay. Excruciating. Now the options are this: exacerbate, SOH, aggravate, excruciating. Excruciating, I'll write better. I'm sorry. Excruciating. Now try the answers, guys. Now can you try the answer? Now can you try the answer? Very fast. Very easy question. Why? Because if you look at the options, my dear friends, exacerbate. What is the meaning of exacerbate? Make worse. Increase the intensity of the problem. When we say exacerbate, you are actually increasing the intensity of the problem. And if you look at the C option is also very close. C option is also very close. Aggravate. You are aggravating the problem. You are actually aggravating the seriousness of the problem. That's called aggravating the problem. Aggravating the problem. And yes, excruciating. Generally we say excruciating is bad. Excruciating is serious. You know, I'll give you one example with excruciating. I met with an accident and I had excruciating pain. I met with an accident. I had excruciating pain. So when we say excruciating pain, severe pain. When we say excruciating pain, it means we had a very severe pain. So now the only option is SOH. What is the meaning of SOH? SOH is support. Actually, it's a positive word, you know. SOH is support. SOH is, you know, I can say solve the problem. SOH is solve the problem. Decrease the problem. You know, decrease the problem. So SOH is the answer because that's the only reverse word. That's the only reverse word. SOH is the answer. The manager's explanation did little to assuage the concerns of the employees. See, the employees had some problems. The employees had some concerns. But the manager hardly did anything to reduce their problems. So this is a question directly based on your vocabulary knowledge. What do you say? Question number 12. Guys, can you try this? Yes. Next one. So no sooner dash the announcement made than the entire hall erupted in applause. Yes, my dear friends. Yes, 12th question. So first of all, I think most of you know this. When we have the question no sooner than should come in the sentence. So no sooner came than came. So this is no problem. This is perfect. But there is one more serious problem in the sentence. What is a serious problem? There is one more serious problem in the sentence. What is a serious problem in the sentence? No sooner dash the announcement. Now you need to find the proper helping verb. So I want your answer to this question. Somebody said second option. I want the answer, please. 12th question, I want the answer. Only one student came with the answer, B option. What about the other students? 12th question, I want the answer. 12th question, I want the answer. 12th question, I want the answer. Yes, another student also said second option. Yes, what about the other students? What about the other students? Yes. Usually a question like this, majority of the students would think option 2 is the answer. Because earlier we solved a question similarly. So the first action should be in past perfect. So had should come there. Okay. The problem is you have to observe the sentence carefully. Announcement made. See, announcement made is not active voice. Announcement made is passive voice. Passive voice. In the given 4 options, this is the only passive voice option. This is the only passive voice option. Was this the right answer? Surprisingly, nobody got it right. I know, that is the reason I am giving you extra time for this question. I know you would make mistake in this question. No sooner was the announcement made. You can't say had the announcement made, because announcement made is a passive voice expression. You can't use active voice there. Announcement made is a passive voice expression. You can't use active voice there. In the given 4 options, only was is the right option, because only was talks about passive voice here. Can you try the 13th question, dear? Can you try the 13th question? The chairman was reluctant to dash his authority by intervening in the dispute. Again, now the question is on vocabulary. Yes. The chairman was reluctant to dash his authority. Answer, please. Guys, I'm waiting for your answer. Now you want me to tell you the meanings of these words? Okay, no problem. What is the meaning of the word abrogate? Abrogate means cancel. It's like revoke. It's like we say repeal, you know, repeal. Abrogate is repeal. You know, we say annulment, you know, annulment, annulment. What is the meaning of squander? Squander is wasting something. Squander is wasting something. Squander is wasting something. Squander is wasting something. Wield means exercise. Wield means exercise, or generally we say use. Flaunt means show off. You know, a lot of people they say show off. You know, some people they have a habit, they show off too much. They have a habit, they do show off too much. Then we say show off. 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 Okay. So the answer is the second option. The answer is the second option, dear. The answer is the second option. The chairman was reluctant to wield his authority. He doesn't want to use his authority by intervening in the dispute. Actually, chairman, he has authority. He has the power but he simply doesn't want to wield his power. He simply doesn't want to exercise his power by simply involving in every dispute. He's a chairman. He is chairman, so he doesn't want to simply involve in every petty issue. There are many other people who could do it. So chairman doesn't want to simply involve in every petty issue. That's the meaning of the sentence. He doesn't want to simply put his finger in everything. Okay? This is a question based on your vocabulary proficiency. You should be good at vocabulary, dear. The vocabulary proficiency matters a lot. Try the 14th one. Now grammar based. Yes, use his power. Exercise his authority. She's one of those rare employees who dash never late for work. Very nice question. Keep a star mark on this question. Keep a star mark to this question. Yes, my dear friends. She's one of those rare employees who dash never late for work. She's one of those rare employees who dash never late for work. I want your answer. I'll give you a clue. This is a question based on the topic subject verb agreement. There is a topic in our English syllabus called conquered subject verb agreement. So this is such a question from the topic conquered subject verb agreement. Subject verb agreement. Can I have your answer, guys? No answer yet? You're thinking. The right answer is the second option, R. The right answer is the second option, R. As I expected, many of you made mistakes here again. Because according to you, here the question is blank. So here you're talking about the girl, she. So you thought singular would come. No. Here, who is who? Can I ask you a simple question, dear? When I say who, there who is who? Who is who? This who is pronoun related to this noun she? No, not at all. This who is related to employees. Who is not about the girl. Who is the employees? Employees is plural, so are. If you don't know the topic subject verb agreement, you cannot answer this question. Please learn the rules of grammar. There is a topic in our English syllabus called subject verb agreement. Please learn the rules of that topic. But for your understanding, I'll give you one more clue in the same model. One more example in the same model, then you will understand something. Prabhas is one of the Indian actors who dash famous. Prabhas is one of the Indian actors who dash famous. Is, are. What is the right answer? Prabhas is one of the Indian actors who dash famous. Is, are. Prabhas is one of the Indian actors who dash famous. Is, are. Two options for you. Prabhas is one of the Indian actors who dash famous. Is, are. So generally if I ask you the question like is, are, many students think we are talking about Prabhas. So is, no, are. Because here who is actors. Actors is plural. So are. Prabhas has nothing to do with this verb. If you understand this, it's easy. Learn the topic subject verb agreement properly. That's all I can say. The last question in this session, question number 15. And we end this session with vocabulary based question again. We end this session with a question based on vocabulary again. The opposition's criticism was dismissed as nothing more than a dash attempt to gain publicity. Answer. Answer. The opposition's criticism was dismissed as nothing more than a dash attempt to gain publicity. Answer. Friends, if you look at the given options there, the 4 options, I'll explain the meanings. Magnanimous means very kind. When we say magnanimous, the meaning of the word magnanimous is very kind, very generous, very benevolent, very compassionate. It's a positive vocabulary. Very compassionate, very munificent. They're all wonderful, wonderful, positive words. Altruistic. Altruistic is a person who, hopes everybody should be happy. Everybody should be happy. So altruistic is a person who is very, very selfless. He is not selfish. He is very, very selfless, which is almost very close to kind. This is also positive word. So ingenious. When we say ingenious, it comes like kind of innocent, but also it is more of frank, honest, which is actually a positive word. It is not a very negative word. And this is a very negative word, disingenuous. So the meaning is very, very, insincere. He is pretending to be good, but he is not good. Insincere. He is pretending to be good, but he is not really good. He is only acting. If you see, here you say gain publicity. He is trying to just gain publicity. So which is a very insincere effort. Option 1 is the right answer. 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 Please make some good running notes of this session. Today, I designed this paper so that you will have the experience of both vocabulary and also grammar at once. Because I remember earlier sessions, there were many experiences when the whole session was going on vocabulary. It was not easy. It was a monotonous, tedious, mundane task to be a part of complete vocabulary session. So that's the reason today I made a little difference. So one question vocab, one question grammar, so that you don't find it boring, and also you will get to learn different topics. So today we have questions on vocabulary on one side, and grammar tenses was there, subject verb agreement was there, conditionals was there, verb was there. So grammar, different topics we have touched up. I hope the session is useful. I'll meet you in my next session. Please make some good running notes. And one suggestion, today I find a lot of students not up to the mark in grammar. I think it's not a good quality, because anyways we cannot be perfect in vocabulary, but at least try to be perfect in grammar rules. Signing off, you Sham sir. Have a good day.